Let's see, here we go. Welcome back to Okarga Farms, where I'm back in the garden today, and we're finally down at the lower berm. This is the berm that kind of divides the barn drive from the house drive, and it's always a good, I don't know, kind of training ground. We get to see what does really well before we take it up closer to the house. I get to try unusual color combinations because this bed is actually quite large. It's one of those places too, if I run out of other places that I don't really know where I want to plant something, I put it down here until I know exactly where it's going to go. And now that all of that rain is finally finished, I'm finally able to get down here and do some weeding. We ended up having over 30 inches of rain over the last 2 months, certainly record breaking. And this is one of the low spots on the property, and it holds water forever. We lose plants from time to time because there's just so much water that sits for so long. But I think overall, this bed is doing really well. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring you down today is we're going to show you some daylilies. The daylilies are in their prime. We're kind of moving toward the end of June, and they are really putting out. There are so many daylilies that we bring in from the garden center when they're not doing well at all, and just put them in the ground to see how well they do. And some of them make it, some of them don't. But today is the day to certainly show you some of those that have made it. But one of the things I'm excited to show you is we're putting in this decorative tower. It's not finished yet. It's actually getting ready to go off to the metal shop. We're going to have a copper roof put on it and a finial. But I wanted to go ahead and show you, since we were down here today before it goes, what a neat structure it is. Brian actually found the original at an online antique auction, and it came from Texas, I believe. And it was actually made out of MDF. I don't know if it was something for a church or what it was actually for. But we actually had one of our guys who do a lot of construction work for us. They actually made this out of cedar so we could put it in the garden. And now that it's completely finished, we're going to actually be getting that roof on. We're actually going to be putting a little bit of a stone base around it, raising it up a little bit. But we needed some kind of focal point, and we needed something larger than just a normal birdhouse. We needed something with some stature. So I think this is going to be just perfect. Once we get the copper on and we get it installed, I'm going to bring you back and show you what it looks like. Also, we're going to be adding some plants. That's what I've been doing today, is weeding out, kind of deciding plants that I want to add in. I've had this one just small mound of drift roses here at the front. So I'm actually going to be putting a couple more, spreading those out. I don't notice it much until these are in bloom, and then I see that huge mound of a peach bloom, and it's nowhere else in the garden. So I'm going to be adding those today. Also, I'm going to be adding a few grasses. That's one thing that I don't add a lot to my beds. A lot of the grasses just get too tall, but I found some small grasses that I'm going to be adding, so I'm going to be putting those around. So while I am doing that, I'm going to just also be showing you some plants here in the garden that are in bloom. And when I get finished placing all of those plants, I'll come back on, talk about what I did, and also some plants that I showed you from the video as we were walking around. There are just so many beautiful plants down in the lower berm. I forget about what all is down in here because I just don't spend as much time down here. This is probably the bed that's furthest from the house. It kind of gets forgotten, and certainly when it's wet, I don't come down. But I wanted to be able to show you all of the daylilies in bloom because they are just all at their prime right now. And then I'm noticing that these are tiger lilies, and they're going to be coming out over the next week or so. I'll try to take some close-up images of all of these and add them on Instagram so that you can see all these, because we have several little pockets of the tiger lilies in this bed. And because it's such a massive bed, I think we ended up adding 8 different pockets for the orange tiger lily. So I can't wait to those get all in bloom. But daylilies, the great thing about them is there's so many different colors. A lot of people don't want the typical orange, and there's so many different varieties now, from hot pinks and reds and whites and yellows. I'm not a big yellow person, so I don't have any real yellow daylilies in the bed. But as I've shown you, we have a lot of pink and purple, which I just think they're so fantastic, and they're so bright. Add a lot of bright colors to the garden, especially when I move into the warmer months. I like to have a lot of beautiful bright plants that match the summer. So I certainly wanted to show you some of those while they were in bloom. Blue black salvia is kind of coming and going. It's time to do maybe some trimming back on those. Of course, the hardy hibiscus, as you can see, it's starting to put out a few blooms, and this one certainly has been showing out lately. But if you look down front, another one of my favorite garden plants is the garden phlox, tall garden phlox. This particular variety is called Glamour Girl. And it's this beautiful, it's even more tense than a hot pink. It actually has a little bit of reddish to it. And the fragrance off of these in the middle of the day are so strong, and you always have tons of pollinators around them. A unique variety of phlox here in the garden. Of course, up in the upper berm, we had those flamingo early phlox that were blooming in a previous video, but these are just now coming into flower. So glad that I got to show you those as well. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pick up some of my mess where I've been cleaning up, move the machine, and then I want to show you an overall look of the lower berm and kind of explain a couple of things about this bed, which is actually a little challenging. There's actually still some mulberries on the tree. That is a tree that was here on the property that I love having. It's a little close to the driveway, and we have some challenges getting large trucks in sometimes. But that mulberry makes the sweetest berries, and it was so nice. I love mulberries, and actually having them here on the property, it was such a surprise. We have one here at the berm, and then we have one as you come up the drive. So they're just about to finish up for the season, but again, a great tree to have here on the property with all that delicious fruit. But now I want to show you an overall view of the lower berm. I think it actually is coming together quite nicely. Like I said earlier, this is one of the places I kind of forget. It's further from the house. I don't see the weeds as close up. So it kind of gets forgotten until something is wrong. But with having this much moisture this year and it finally drying out, I'm really impressed with all of the flowers. Especially, I'm noticing standing back, just like I was mentioning the daylilies a minute ago, the daylilies are looking good, the cone flowers looking good. And then I think once we get the tower, the copper on the tower, and get it set, I think it's really going to have a great presence here to the property. You know, the challenge with this bed is it's actually not really symmetrical. It's actually a little shorter on this end and a little longer on this end. It's just the way the drive comes up and then it splits. There's just a little more land on this side. So I really didn't want to make this bed exactly symmetrical. I like for it to relate from side to side, but I don't want to do exactly the same thing. So having a lot of the same plants, but letting them dance around kind of in different ways, kind of blurs the eye a little bit. But what I am going to add is a few more plants. You know, this lower part, that's where we had a few plants that kind of petered out. So I'm going to be adding some grasses, which I think are going to look great going into the fall season. I'm going to add some of the Passionfruit Lantana here at the front, just to give it a little bit of a punch color. And then, as I was mentioning, I have this little small block of the peach drift rose right at the front. I didn't have any anywhere else in the bed, so I'm going to add a couple more clumps of those so that when those are in bloom, again, that color jumps around in more places than just here at the very front. Overall, I think this bed is coming together, and I think it's really making a nice kind of introduction to the house. Once you come up to the property, this is really the first blooming bed, so to speak, that you're going to see here at the farm. And it gives such a great wide array of plants that there's always something coming and going. In the spring, we had the mock orange, and then we had the first set of Asiatic lilies, which came up. Now we have the daylilies, and many of the other perennials, such as the blue-black salvia, are coming in. And then another plant that we've talked about before that I want to show a close-up to you today is this patio peach. It's actually making fruit, and it is doing so well. I was so worried that it was going to drown out with all of the water that was around it. But just look how it's just covered with this beautiful fruit. Again, this isn't really the type of peach fruit that you want to eat. I've read up on it. It said it's very bitter. It's really a hard type of fruit. But just look at the presence it makes here in this bed. And then just within a few weeks, we're going to start to have these beautiful hardy hibiscus, which are really going to put on a show. We have hot pink and deep red here in this bed, so they're going to begin to add a lot of color to this bed as well. Again, it's just been a really fun space to have here on the property. It's very loose. It's very informal, but it's also been a trial bed where we get to try things in large masses. This is another great place that we can add several daylilies, and then in time, if we want to use them somewhere else around the property, if you've noticed, we've added some daylilies around the pond. So as we're dividing up some of the plants, we can spread them throughout the property and not have to go back to the garden center to actually buy more every time. And daylilies is a great plant to do that. What we're going to do is I'm going to get all of this planted in. We're going to take the tower off to the metal shop and get that copper roof put on. When we get it done, I'm going to bring you back down here and show you how it looks. And hopefully we're going to have it all planted, all come together at that point, and it's really going to make a statement here at the farm. So remember, if you liked this video, be sure to subscribe, like, and follow me, the Preppy Gardener. And I look forward to being back with another video very soon.